This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by the good folks over at Sherlock Packaging, a consumer packaging design firm specializing in food, medical, and consumer products. Sherlock Packaging is a full-service company with expertise in every step of the packaging production process, from concept work and design through testing and production, through final polish and deployment. If you have a legal marijuana product that needs quality packaging, then you should swing over to SherlockPack.com to see what they have available. That's 2 words, Sure, and then Lock, spelled SURELOCK, SherlockPack.com. One of my favorite Sherlock Packaging products is their very cool 3-digit combo lockbox, which puts just the right amount of security between your cannabis products and the outside world. They're great for keeping your marijuana away from kids, roommates, and your visiting in-laws. You can open up SherlockPack.com to order one of their combo lockboxes for retail or place a large wholesale run and get them printed up with your own branding. That's what we did for our recent adventures in Las Vegas, and I couldn't be happier with how our branded boxes turned out. I know you'll be happy too with the work of Sherlock Packaging. One last time, just open up SherlockPack.com to learn more. Thanks to everyone at Sherlock Packaging for supporting today's news. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Tuesday, December 4th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 621 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Utah holds on to our top story today, as yesterday, Utah state lawmakers made quick work of approving a special medical marijuana bill that will replace Proposition 2, a voter ballot measure passed last month that set up a limited medical cannabis program. The bill that was approved by lawmakers yesterday is an even more restrictive measure than Prop 2, stripping away home grow, imposing a requirement on dispensaries that they employ in-house pharmacists, and cutting the overall number of dispensaries to be allowed. Utah Governor Gary Herbert signed the bill into law yesterday, not long after it was passed by lawmakers. There's a bit of controversy in this storyline, with some activists in the state unhappy about the role played by the Mormon Church in brokering the deal that led to yesterday's amended medical cannabis bill. So I'm sure this one will be spinning back up in our radar in the future. Open up Kyle Yeager's comprehensive piece on this one over at Marijuana Moment for all the details. Marijuana Business Daily has some big news out of Canada that tobacco giant the Altria Group is talking with licensed cultivator the Cronos Group about a possible acquisition. The Altria Group owns a number of brands, but chief among them in the worlds of vice products is cigarette maker Philip Morris and beer company Anheuser-Busch InBev. The Cronos Group trades as a public stock on both the Toronto Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ market. There are a lot of business reasons for beer and tobacco companies to diversify into legal cannabis, and an early template for large deals has been established by Corona beer maker Constellation Brands, which invested $5 billion into cannabis growth earlier this year. Another good story to read in full. Rounding out today's top stories is a potentially big headline out of California, where Marijuana Business Daily's John Schroyer is reporting that a testing lab located in Sacramento has given up its business license to the state after it was discovered that its lab director has been faking test results for the last 4 months, putting hundreds of different cannabis products in danger of being recalled. Sequoyah Analytical Labs gave up its license just last week after an inspection found that a now-fired unnamed lab director had falsified hundreds of lab test results. In the wake of the news, the California Bureau of Cannabis Control is having the company recall and retest any affected products still unsold on shop shelves. In a day of stories that deserves a full dive in, I'd toss this one on the pile. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Sherlock Packaging, a consumer packaging design firm specializing in food, medical, and consumer products. You can open up SherlockPack.com and browse the wide variety of products they have available via retail sale, all printed up in beautiful designs, but you can also learn about how you can work with Sherlock Packaging on a wholesale level. If you have legal marijuana products that need smart packaging solutions, then you should talk to the folks over at Sherlock Packaging about how they can help you through the process, because there's a lot of things that you need to get right. Sherlock Packaging is a full-service company capable of guiding you through every step of the way. Get your 2019 packaging plan set solid with Sherlock Packaging, which you can learn more about, again, over at SherlockPack.com. With Sherlock made up of two words, Sure and Lock, spelled SURELOCK, SherlockPack.com. Thanks again to everyone over at Sherlock Packaging for helping us keep the news lights on. All right, time for the Blitz. Marijuana Business Daily continues to just slay the headlines today, this time with Matt Lamers chiming in with a great story about an outdoor cultivation up in Canada that is projected to deliver a whole lot of marijuana later next year at a price that's fractional to how much it costs to raise cannabis in greenhouses or fully indoor spaces. I think outdoor cultivation has a lot of potential to be a major market disruptor, so I'd probably read this one as well today if I were you. On Friday, a U.S. tax court ruled in a case involving California marijuana company Harborside in such a way that keeps the restrictions imposed by Federal Tax Code 280E in place. That's the tax code that pops up all the time in our headlines that restricts what legal cannabis businesses can deduct as legitimate expenses when filing federal taxes. Harborside has been fighting the government over having to pay the extra taxes that come with 280E for the last 2.5 years. Turning to California, we have a handy chart of the week from Marijuana Business Daily that shows how that state's licensed cultivation capacity is split up in terms of license type and location. In regards to license type, there's a relatively even split between outdoor, indoor, and the two tiers of greenhouse licenses, with Tier 1 greenhouse licenses having a slight edge over the others. California's licensed cultivation is mostly taking place in Santa Barbara County, with Humboldt County close behind. As they always do, this one comes with a good bit of background context and detail worthy of a read itself. Looking to Canada for a headline, Bloomberg has an insightful story about a shortage of labor within the Canadian legal marijuana industry and the measures companies like Altria have had to take in order to respond. You might remember an earlier storyline involving Altria and the thousands of growing plants it was forced to destroy because it lacked the workforce to harvest them. After that incident, Altria engaged in a government program to import workers from the Caribbean and from the country of Guatemala. On Friday, the Wine and Spirits Wholesalers of America, a major lobbying organization for the alcohol industry, held a briefing in Washington, D.C. for lawmakers and congressional staffers to go over its pro-legalization stance on marijuana, which it came to as an organization back in July. Kyle Yeager over at Marijuana Moment has all the details on this one, as well as a nice scan of the one-page sheet that was handed out during the briefing. Grabbing another headline on the list is Marijuana Business Daily's John Schroyer, who penned an article about the growing dangers of counterfeit products within the legal marijuana industry. This is absolutely an industry-wide problem capable of touching any business with a product or brand to sell, so it's probably a good idea for you to have a solid handle on the issue. And finally for today, Minnesota just added Alzheimer's disease to its list of medical marijuana qualifying conditions, with a new addition to formally take effect next August. Minnesota Health Commissioner Jan Malcolm said that there is evidence that medical marijuana could be helpful to people living with Alzheimer's to treat their mood and to help with sleep. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, send us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at MJ Today Daily. Visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Just a quick reminder, I'll be leading a panel discussion this Friday in New York City at the Cannabis Media Summit, where a bunch of smart people from legal marijuana business, media, journalism, and marketing will all be getting together to talk about important things. You can register for the Cannabis Media Summit yourself over at cannabismediasummit.com. Thanks to our sponsor, Sherlock Packaging, and to all of our awesome Patreon listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the Patreon listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in, starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.